Hey guys, MTU Collector here with another figure review. Finally, I know I've been out for a whole week, Sunday to Sunday. I went on a work trip, so I'm back home now and ready to get back into the swing of things with some reviews. And here, this was waiting for me at the post office because it arrived while I was away. But here we have the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe Boxed Set. I've been eagerly waiting for this for quite some time. I got the Green Ranger at San Diego Comic-Con 2023, I think is when it was. I absolutely love that figure. And then we got the White Ranger figure like at the end of that year. So it's been like a full year, I think, since the White Ranger had even released. And now here we have the whole team, the MMPR Power Rangers set. And I'm just super excited. So checking out the box, it's quite large, as you can see. We got all 5 Rangers on the artwork there. We get the large Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo. Let's flip this around. The box is empty. I already took the trays out. But here we have all 5 figures, and you can see each one comes with 2 head portraits because it comes with the unhelmeted head sculpt. And this is the original team, the OGs. So we got Kimberly, we've got Zach, we've got Trini, along with Jason and Billy there. So that's pretty cool. I wonder if would Mezco do something later on where they do the other team? They do like, instead of Kimberly, they do Catherine, Kat, and then they do like Adam, and they do Rocky, and they do Aisha or something like that. I guess that wouldn't be ideal, but it could be kind of cool. Like if maybe they do the metallics or something like that. I don't know. They could do a metallic. They could use, instead of kind of the softer fabric, they could use something that has a little bit of a satin or a little bit of a shine to it. I could see them doing something like that, and I wouldn't even be mad at it. I think that'd be kind of cool. But as you can see, we are loaded up with accessories. Like, it's kind of insane. This is the thing about Mezco. It's kind of intimidating to review because there's just so much that comes along with them sometimes. So it's pretty crazy. We get a Mega Blaster that is a separate accessory piece by itself with some effect pieces. Each Ranger will get their own Blade Blaster, a holster for the Blade Blaster. We get 3 Thunder Slingers. I don't remember what exactly those were for. Those are going to be like episode specific type of thing. We get some blast effect pieces there that I think are going to go for the Blade Blasters. We get 2 Dragon Shields because Red Ranger and Black Ranger at one point each wore them, never at the same time, so I don't know why we got 2, other than just your display opportunities there. But while we get the Dragon Shields, we do not get a Dragon Dagger for the Red Ranger or the Black Sheath for the Dragon Dagger, so that I think is one miss. So if you have the Green Ranger, then you're good. My Green Ranger, one of the buttons came off, and Mezco never replaced it, even though they said they would. That kind of sucks. But it would have been cool if they would have included that for the Red Ranger, but unfortunately they didn't. We get each of their special weapons. We also get this anti-sonic foam gun and foam blast effects piece for the Blue Ranger, Billy. That's going to be episode specific as well. I don't recall, but you can see we get each of their weapons, and each one comes with a stand. And then each one has their own set of hands, and their hands are going to be specific to, the Ranger, like what their weapon is, to be able to hold their weapon in different poses and things like that. I'm not going to focus on the hands because there's just so many of them. But what I want to focus on is we'll take a look at the accessories, and then we'll take a look at the Rangers themselves. So again, very excited about that. Let's go ahead and get this box out of the way because it's quite large. But looking at the tray here, this is how it's displayed in the box. So you can see all 5 Rangers. You can see all their unhelmeted head sculpts, and then each of their hands, and their hands are underneath each Ranger, so you know who gets what and whatnot. And then underneath that is going to be the tray that has all of the accessories. So let me go ahead and show you guys how that's packed out. And again, it's insane. You get the Blade Blasters, you get all the blast effect pieces with the Mega Blaster, which is there. You get some effect pieces, again, some of those weapons that are, again, very episode specific. All their individual weapons there. And then the bottom tray, as you can see here, comes with the stands and then the 112 collective accessory bag that you have for each. So the stands are double and triple stacked in there, so you can get all 5. So there it is. Let's go ahead and get some of these pieces out of these trays, and let's go ahead and take a look at the Mezco 112 Collective Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe Boxed Set. Oh, geez. Okay, so here we have the figures out of the package. And again, there's so many accessories to this thing, it's kind of crazy. But here's going to be my first impression. I absolutely love this set. Like, like, Mezco has made some really good stuff. I think the fabric, right, the soft goods, some people hate the soft goods look. They call them pajamas or whatever. Like, I get it. Early Mezco, I think a lot of it looked that way. I think what they do now is very different, and I think something like the Power Rangers makes sense when it comes to the soft goods. These seem to be updated bodies. I'm no Mezco expert as far as the bodies. I know the female bodies are crazy because they're like rubbery, so that is different. I've never seen that before. But man, these things are awesome. Like, I think even better than the green and white Ranger, and I would almost like think that maybe, new updates to those to match these bodies might be something that they should do, kind of thing. But these are fantastic. If you got in on the pre-order and you got them, that was the right move. Like, if you did not pre-order and you were just hoping that they would be in stock somewhere, I don't know if that's going to be your luck. They were kind of off and on, in and out of stock at Big Bad Toy Store based on, like people that canceled their pre-order and whatnot. But as of now, these guys are not going to be available really anywhere. eBay is going to be your friend, probably, but then you might be paying a lot more for them. So, I don't know if they ever pop up in stock again at Big Bad Toy Store or anywhere. I'll share links in my Instagram broadcast channel. But man, I hope you didn't miss out, because these things are pretty freaking nice. We're going to go through each figure. We'll take a look at the head sculpts. We'll take a look at the accessories and things like that. It's not going to be a super in-depth review because I don't want this thing to be an hour long. But I do want to show you guys the stuff and then show you guys the articulation and do all that. I'm not going to pose around these figures too much. I think the only other thing that I am going to try is probably do like the Mega Blaster like pose where they're standing by the Mega Blaster and kind of do that. I might try to do that, but other than that, we're just going to take a look at the accessories, look at the articulation, and kind of move on from there. We're going to take it Ranger by Ranger on the close-up so you guys can see the details of things going on, and then we'll kind of go into the accessories after that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, up close, Red Ranger. Here's the thing about Mezco, and I think this has always been an issue when it comes to Mezco. This is not something new. Mezco figures tend to have these big-ass heads. They're big. And a couple of reasons I think for that. No, well, not even a couple of like, it's hard to say, because when you have like soft goods on top of a base body and stuff, you would want to make the head a little bit bigger because the soft goods are kind of bulk up the figure. So that I think that kind of goes along with Mezco, and I think when you have a figure like this where there's not any layers to the soft goods, it does kind of look big. Now on the guys, they don't look as big. Yes, they are still a little bit big, but to me it doesn't look as big. But when you look at the female Rangers, so Pink Ranger and Yellow Ranger, like these are some big heads. Like especially on the Pink Ranger, you could see hers is just big because I feel like her helmet was always a little bit bigger, like it stuck out a little bit more. And so they're big, kind of based on their body size, right? Like if you look at it, those are big heads. So that is a thing, but I think that's something with majority of Mezco figures. But again, the male Rangers, the guys, I don't think it looks nearly as bad. But looking at them, very clean presentation. They all share the same body. They all share the same parts and whatnot. Obviously, we just have the corresponding colors to the Rangers. So looking at one, we'll take a look at the Red Ranger, as Red is always the leader of the team. You can see the diamond pattern there on the boots. Paint-wise, not too bad. A little stray off there, but nothing crazy or anything like that. Paint-wise, across the board is always pretty good on Mezco figures. I never had any real big issues. Now, one thing on my figure, and this is crazy because I can't, based on the lighting, I don't know if you guys could see it. I can't on my viewfinder. So there's that line there. There's this huge crease on the diamond there. So hopefully I can get like a replacement for that, because I don't know if there's a fix for that. And again, I don't know if you guys can really see that, how that's coming on camera. But yeah, there's this huge crease right there, so that's a little unfortunate. Hopefully, I can get that replaced or something. I don't know if I'm just being, on a $400 set. You would want it to kind of look pretty good. So hopefully I can do that there. But otherwise, no issues. Again, paint-wise, all good. Diamond pattern on the gloves looks good. Head sculpt, nice. I like that the necks are nice and thick because they always had like that big old white padded turtleneck under the helmets. You got the clips on the helmet, so that is all very realistic looking. So just looks really, really good. So that is Red Ranger. there. And let's go ahead and pop this head sculpt off there. Comes off very easily. These heads, ooh, these heads are kind of like hollow inside. They're very light. So you can see kind of how they did the inside of them there. I feel like Green Ranger and White Ranger, they were pretty thick. I will show comparison towards the end of the video with those guys. Of course, Jason, Tommy Oliver. I don't know why I said Jason, the actor. Jason David Frank. Look at that head sculpt right there for Jason Scott, I think. But anyway, Jason, there. That looks pretty good. I could see that the actor likeness is there. It's not perfect. Mezco, I don't think has ever really done a fantastic job to actor likenesses. But I think the Power Rangers, you know, based off of a 30-year-old property of these people 30 years ago, I think they did a really good job. And so that looks pretty good. There. If anything, maybe the head sticks up, is on there maybe a little too high. Looking straight on, it's not as bad, but looking to the side, it does seem pretty high on there. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. We'll move on to Zach, the Black Ranger. That looks pretty good. I forgot to look at the Red Ranger. We'll take a look at that. But the Morpher looks great. You could clearly see the power coin in there. So you got Mastodon. You got Tyrannosaurus Rex there. Those look really, really good. So all good there. Helmet-wise, helmet looks pretty good. One thing I can't oh, they did, okay, so they did do the silver lining there on the trunk of the Mastodon on the helmet, and that looks pretty good. It's just very, very thin line, so you can't see it as much, but it is in there. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and pop that head off, helmet off, and let's put the Zach head on here. And I think this one's pretty good. I think the likeness is there. Again, I think it sits a little high on the neck, if anything, but I could see it. So that is pretty good there. It's got his high top on there. Let's go ahead and move on to Billy, the Blue Ranger. Looking at the helmet. Helmet looks pretty good. There. I like that there isn't some crazy shine to it, so it's a little flat and a little matte in color, so I like that. Looking at his power coin, the Triceratops. And I think that looks okay. There's probably a little too much gold in there. It's probably a little hard to kind of get in some of the black paint in some of those areas. But helmet looks pretty good, as you can see there. Pop that off and put the Billy head on there. One thing about the Billy head sculpt, though, is he does not have glasses. So they did not do a head sculpt with glasses. But I think it looks okay. It's not perfect. From the side, I think it looks better. But his head seems to sit even higher on the neck. So that's kind of crazy how they did that. I wonder, is that neck right? Should that neck be that way? No, because that'd be weird, huh? So yeah, it sits high, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I think the hair is good, the color is good, the double chin there is pretty good. The likeness is just okay, in my opinion. We'll take a look at Trini, the Yellow Ranger. Helmet-wise, looks good. It is big, though. It is big. Now, one thing about this body is these legs are rubbery. They're, like, the lower legs are hard plastic. The arms are hard plastic. But the legs, it actually, the whole, okay, so the torso, so all the way down to the knee, this is like one body piece. There's no separation. So I'm trying to think, like, how does it turn? It just turns. So it's like a rubber body, so like a fishin body, Fison, I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's going to be something like that. So it's kind of interesting that you have this rubbery body, as you could see. You could just squeeze it. It's rubbery in there. It's kind of cool. It gives it a good shape to the figure. But, you know, it's weird. You don't see, like, the noticeable, like, articulation points and stuff. It's very different, something that I'm not used to. But it is kind of cool, I guess. I'm trying to think, can you turn the leg? You could still turn the leg, no problem. It's interesting, though. Very interesting. We'll go ahead and pop that helmet off there, and let's go ahead and see the Trini head sculpt. This one, I think, is not as good. Like, I could see some likeness in there, but I don't see it completely. You know, she looks like a very mad Trini, but otherwise I think is okay. The hair looks pretty good there. We'll take a look at Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. The difference here is she has the skirt, because in the Japanese Super Sentai, the Yellow Ranger was actually played by a guy. So that's why Pink Ranger has a skirt and Yellow Ranger does not. Looking at the power coin, the pterodactyl. Forgot a saber-toothed tiger there, by the way. And yeah, that looks okay. Maybe a little too much black paint in there. But there we go. And then again, kind of the head sculpt. The helmet looks really big, because I always felt it was like wider this way, or deeper helmet. and just looks really big on the Pink Ranger. But let's see her Kimberly Hart head sculpt, how that looks. And we'll pop that on there. The hair kind of, and it sits really, really high on the neck. But I mean, that's not going to go any lower because the hair is designed for that length. But that is a really long neck. Now, does that look like Amy Jo Johnson, I think is her name? I think a little bit. It's not the best, but it's also not terrible. I think from the side view, it looks really good. From straight on, not as much. And I think this one and Srini are probably the least resemblance to the actual actors. Paint on the hair does look pretty good though. Kind of get some dark brown with some lighter brown in there. So there we go on the Rangers. Let's go ahead and take a look at their accessories. Okay, in terms of accessories, we're going to kind of take this step by step because, again, there's just so much going on here. The good thing is some things are like put into these trays. So like all the blade blasters, you know, all 5 blade blasters are in this tray here, and you got the blades there. So I got to get one of those blades out so I can show you guys. But we'll take things again step by step. So here we have, this was called like the Stinger or something. I forget what it was called. It's the Thunder Slinger. The Thunder Slinger. I honestly have no idea what this is. I just don't recall. I don't remember everything from the show. This must have been like a season 2 or season 3 type of thing, when they changed over to the Thunder Megazord type of stuff. We get 3 of these, so I guess only 3 Rangers used them. It's a very cool accessory. I don't think stuff like this is all that necessary, you know, when it's like episode specific. Now, if they use them more than one time, then oh hey, you know, that's cool. I just don't recall. You guys can let me know down in the comments, but we have that there. Again, there are 3 of these. Looks good, but I just don't know what it came with. We get 2 of these dragon shields and 2 of these arm bars there, or gold bands, arm bands. So you can see it clips up underneath right there. And basically what you would do is you'd pop off a head sculpt on there. You would work this over a shoulder there. Work this around. Let's see. Work this neck over, and then you could do that. Get this arm underneath, and then you want to get this up under there. But how do you get a good grip to clip that on, or do you just like push it on? Oh yeah, you could just kind of push it on. So there, we got the Red Ranger there. Let's see. Let's pop that head back. I don't like these helmets are super hollow, by the way. Like, it's kind of crazy how hollow they are. And that looks pretty good. If anything, we do have a slender body. I'll show comparison with the Green Ranger later in this video. So that does seem to kind of make a difference. But yeah, you know what? I'm really liking this. Oh, I guess you don't have to take the hands off. Yeah, I think that's so cool. But we don't get the Dragon Dagger to go on this side. I'd have to steal from the Green Ranger. But if you missed out on the Green Ranger, like, that's not an opportunity that you're going to have. So that is unfortunate. But yeah, that is really cool that we get that. And again, there's 2 of these, so you can also put one on the Black Ranger if that's what you wanted to do. Because one single episode, Black Ranger actually wore the Dragon Shield as well. But there we go. There, that looks great. So we're going to move on there. And let's go ahead and check out the Blade Blaster. So you can see here, it does fold out. This should push in. So there is our Blade Blaster. As you can see there, you could blast it, and then you could pull that back, and then you could fold it. Ooh, let's see. Maybe did I pull it all the way? You could fold it in place, and so you have that there. But let me grab the blade so we could check that out. So we do get 5 of these little blades, as you can see there, and you just port them in like so, and so you can actually use it as a sword. Like the original Toyz, you could kind of see that line in there. These would actually like fold in, and I guess in the show as well, the blade would actually just fold inwards, like, and be tucked in there. But you know, for the toy, I think this is probably the best way that you could kind of make it look. So that is really cool there. So you have that weapon there. So now let's go ahead and check out their individual weapons. Okay, so the Red Ranger's Power Sword, it looks like we get 2 different versions. We get one that has some red paint and some translucent red plastic in there. So this is like the energized version or the powered up version. And then here we have the regular Power Sword here. It's got the nice Tyrannosaurus Rex power coin on there. Good paint work on there. Blade looks really nice. We'll go ahead and put those back in there. We'll take a look at the Power Axe. This is Zach's weapon, as you can see there, the Black Ranger. Does this slide? Oh, it does slide. God, that's kind of scary to doing that. So that piece does slide there. The sliding effect is really only for when you do like the Mega Blaster, but these pieces don't actually connect together. Although it looks like, you know, could potentially work, but you know they didn't do it in a way that you would want to do that, because you know they got the Mega Blaster all together. But that looks pretty good there. Nice silver Mastodon logo there. So that is nice. And here we go. Yellow Ranger's Saber-Tooth Tiger daggers, as you can see there. And these look pretty good. Nice. Ooh, look at that piece. Are they supposed to be bent in like that? They are. I have never noticed that those side dagger pieces, I mean, they're daggers, they're not size, which, although I guess they would kind of be size, but those pieces bend in. I've never seen that on anything. I'd have to go back and watch the show and see, is it supposed to be that way? Because those are kind of hard plastic, so it's clearly molded to be that way. I just never had noticed that before in my life. That's interesting. Anyway, Saber-Tooth Tiger power coin on there. Looks pretty good. The two daggers there, so that is nice. Put those away. We get the power bow. This is Kimberly's weapon, so bow and arrow. So we got the bow here with some string on there. So that is really good. That looks good. And we also get 3 arrows. Each arrow is the same. Nice silver with a little bit of pink on the back and then pink towards the front here. So that is really cool. So if you wanted to do, you know, pose it out holding, you could do something like that. I don't want to fire it off because I don't want to lose this arrow, and I also don't want to break it. There's a little bit of pliability into it, but I am scared and don't want to mess with that too much. Now for the Blue Ranger, we get his power lance. So you get him in a couple of different pieces. You actually get 4 different pieces. So this is kind of the longer lance piece here. So you do have this connector piece here. So you get this silver piece here to connect both pieces. So we could port that in one side, port this in the other side. Let me see, force it down all the way, and you have your full-on power lance. I did not straighten that real well, because as you can see, I did not straighten it well. But you have your full power lance there, so that's pretty good. One thing that Billy somehow was able to do is you also have these short pieces. Now the short pieces also came in handy when it came time to the Mega Blaster, right? So the short pieces would attach to the Mega Blaster there. So you have these short pieces, so you could attach these as well. As you can see, you do have the ports in there. So if you wanted to do, you could just take this apart. This is not easy to take apart, by the way. Holy moly. I don't know how I'm going to get this connector piece out. Like, I probably need to heat this up and somehow get a good grip on it, but like, I cannot get this off. Maybe if I... Let me see. If I just kind of... No, I'm not. I got to figure out how to get that off. But anyway, you get the short pieces on there and you got the longer pieces. Now, the Power Lance also has these blue lightning energy effect pieces. Now, the instruction sheet actually shows how these would connect, and why his specifically get these lightning effects and no one else gets anything is kind of interesting. But as you can see, when you have the Power Lance, you can actually attach these lightning effects onto the Power Lance. So like if I got this one, if I look at it this way, you could, I think it wants you to do something maybe like this. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to like wrap around or how you want to do it. Or maybe it just rests in there like so. Or maybe this way. I don't know. Maybe like that. So you get this lightning energy effect. So that is really cool there. Oh, it's supposed to... Oh, it does show it in the picture. I'm just doing it way wrong. But anyway, you could always attach it however you want. But you get 2 lightning effect pieces, so you could attach them to either end of his lance, which is cool. Now, the other thing is for Billy, the Blue Ranger, is you have this. And this is called the Anti-Sonic Foam Gun. And it comes with the Foam Blast effect piece. So... that's interesting. It's got this metal tip, so you can port that into the anti-sonic Anti-sonic foam gun. I do not remember this. I don't know what monster they were fighting or what, but you have this piece. Again, these one-off episode weapons, they're cool, but I don't know that they're always completely necessary. But again, cool to have it. So you got that there. So that is their individual weapons. I'm going to try and get this connector piece off of the lance, which I can't even find where I put it. I put it over here, and then we will take a look at the Mega Blaster all together. The funny thing is I did get it out of the other one, but now it's stuck on this one. So I got to figure out how to best get it off. One thing that I was doing as I was trying to turn it. Let's see if I keep trying to turn it. No, I gotta, man, it's hard to get. Once you got it set in there pretty good, it's definitely difficult to get out, so I gotta keep working it. Well, here's a problem. Don't do what I did. So I was trying to pull it out, and look at that. I broke the connector piece. So, not good. Not good at all. I don't like how they did that. This should have been a much harder plastic piece or even metal or something, because now I am completely screwed, and that is a super mega bummer about that. So I'm sad now. Okay, so now the Mega Blaster, again, the pieces don't come together and you piece it together to make this. This is a whole separate accessory that Mezco decided to include, and it's pretty freaking cool that they did, if you ask me. I absolutely love that it's just a separate piece. Attaching everything together, while cool, absolutely, there's something special about just having it all together already and just kind of perfectly placed. Nothing that's like tilting or bent or anything like that. Just looks absolutely fantastic. And I think for the most part, some of the stuff is the same. It's just kind of glued together. I think the daggers and the power lances are probably different because they have this extra piece that goes in there, and maybe the bow is different because maybe it's keyed in so it can be properly glued in there. Whatever the case may be, it's together and it looks pretty freaking awesome. The other cool thing is we have all these different blast effects to go into it to kind of, I guess, show how it's all supposed to look. We also get these blast effect pieces for the Blade Blaster as well. There's like several pieces that would clip in, that would port into a Blade Blaster, so you could kind of see kind of the gun blast effect. So I didn't show that earlier, so let's go ahead and get a Blade Blaster out now. And so you have it, and then you could just port this on in, and you have your blast effect. So that's really cool there. But this piece, I'd have to see, because we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe because I don't know how it would work, because there's like 2 pinks, 1 blue, 1 yellow, 1 red. So where do the color, I'd have to look at video and see where the colors. I'm assuming red would be the center piece, right? The center blast. Maybe blue on one side here, and then maybe the purple on another side to represent black, which I think we see that like in terms of effect color pieces. And then one side would be pink, one side would be yellow. Let's go pink over here next to the purple. And let's do yellow next to the blue. So you have the Blade Blast. Now, that's kind of unfortunate how it looks all like that. Now, if it were all like perfectly straight and everything, I think that would be absolutely amazing. But you could take a look at like this, like an aerial shot, and that would look pretty good. So that is just really cool that we have that. And again, I don't know if I put the colors in the right spots. I just wish they ended up being a little bit more straight. But as you can see, they are quite long. So that's, part of the thing going there. For the most part, have them, like if I put them in kind of the other way, would it be better? Let's see. Kind of. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's not too far off. So that is just really cool. I love that they actually pieced it together to be able to do that. Okay, so let's take a look at the articulation for the Rangers. So the heads, they can look up that much, which is pretty good there. Coming down, can look down that much because you get a lot of range on that head. And then the neck itself could also swivel, and you could get some good tilt in there. The arm, you can get the arm to go straight on out like so. You can go forward, you can go back. In there, you have a bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow gives you that much bend. Their wrists swivel. They are on a ball hinge in there, so you could swivel and hinge whichever way you need. We have a diaphragm cut on there, so you can get upper torso to tilt to the left that much. You could tilt to the right that much there. You can lean back that much there, and then you can come forward only that much there, so not a huge amount, and you get some twist at that diaphragm in there. You can twist a little bit at the waist as well. The legs go out that far apart. You can kick forward that far there. The leg goes back a little bit in there. You do have a thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee gives you that much bend there. You do get a boot swivel in there. Foot hinges down only a little bit, hinge up a little bit, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty good articulation for the male bodies there. Let's take a look at the female bodies. Again, a little bit rubbery in some areas. Let me move this holster so we can get that out of the way and we don't have to worry about that. Same thing, head, you can look up so much, you can look down quite a bit. Same movement and everything on the heads there. The arm, you can get to go way on out and up. You can come forward, you can go back in there. You got an upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow gives you that much bend there. Wrists, same thing, or on a ball joint and swivel. Let's see, movements are going to be definitely different. You can tilt and whatnot, and I don't know what the full limitations of these rubbery bodies are, so I want to be careful, but you can get some good tilting action in there. You can lean back really, really far. You can come forward really, really far, but man, I'm scared of at what point can you not move. You could turn that body to the sides. You can go that far apart on the legs. You can kick forward really far. You can go back on it as well. You get some twist on the rubber, but not a huge amount. You get a nice double jointed knee there. Boot swivel. Foot hinges down only a tiny bit. Hinges up only a tiny bit. Ankle pivot a little bit. And peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So these rubber bodies, while cool and give a more natural look, I just don't know what the limitations are, and I don't know how long they will last or anything like that. But I can't deny that they look a lot better because they're much more natural looking. It's just now I have to figure out how can I get it back into its kind of regular spot, and is that kind of regular or not? Am I turned a little bit or not? But again, they move pretty well. Okay, so getting into comparison, because we got the Dragon Shield. So obviously Green Ranger came with his own Dragon Shield, so you could see Red Ranger there. Now, because this set did not come with a Dragon Dagger, which I think was a big miss on Mezco's part, other than, you know, maybe they just want to keep that exclusive to the Green Ranger. Sure, I get it, but like, if you're going to include the Dragon Shield, like, you should do it, like, include everything that would come along with it. Like, when Red Ranger, Jason, when he took over the Green Ranger's powers, like, he got the Dragon Dagger and all. Like, he had both his Power Blaster and the Dragon Dagger. So this would be the proper look there. So it should have come with it, in my opinion. It did not. So there we go. There's the Red Ranger full Dragon gear set up with the Dragon Dagger and all of that. But looking at the two figures side by side, it looks like there's some height difference in there as well. Not much, but there's definitely a height difference between the two bodies in there. Again, we have a little bit more of a slender build, in my opinion. And I think these guys actually feel better than what the Green Ranger felt. And the Green Ranger, you know, moved around pretty well. It's just that these guys just feel a little bit better, but you could see he's quite short in comparison, which is a little unfortunate. And if I pull out the White Ranger here, you could see like the legs, you know, were the same with the Green Ranger, kind of thick there, but maybe size-wise they almost look a little bit better, but Red Ranger's still a little tad short, so it's just kind of unfortunate there, but there we go. There's our leaders of the Power Rangers. Green Ranger was never the leader, but White Ranger became the leader when they reintroduced Tommy Oliver back into the show with as a full-on Power Ranger. And of course, there's Zach, the Black Ranger, with the Dragon Shield on there. And something about the gold over the black just looks really good, which is why maybe I always really liked the Zeo Gold Ranger, because the black and the gold just looks so good together. Okay, and there is our entire Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team, and then depending on when you want to do it, you could swap out Green Ranger for White Ranger there. I absolutely love the Mezco Power Rangers figures. I would hope that Mezco can do more. You know, a Rita Repulsa obviously would make most amount of sense, right? Soft goods, it just, you know, they could do it. Whether Mezco is going to do more Power Rangers figures or not, you know, who knows? I would love it if they went on to Zeo. Went on to maybe not Turbo. I don't know. I'll go back and forth on Turbo. Let's do In Space. Just jump to In Space. I would love to see that. But who knows? Maybe they will do other seasons. Maybe it's only Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I would love for them to do a Lord Draken. Tommy Oliver, I mean, if the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers license, like think Super 7 wise, they have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers license that does apply to comics, but it only applies to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not beyond any other seasons, so no Zeo or anything like that. If the same goes for Mezco, maybe we'll see them make a Lord Draken. That would be really cool. What I would also like to see them do is maybe go for it. Just do the metallic Rangers with a satin, like shiny suit. And that would be really cool. And then you can give us the alternate actors for Pink Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Blue Ranger, and Black Ranger, and Red Ranger. Oh, wait. Everyone changed? No, Blue Ranger would be the only one that didn't change. But give us alternate heads for the other actors that took on those other roles. That would be something really cool. I would love to see it. You guys let me know what you guys would think of that down in the comments below. Quick little shot without the blast effects, because with the blast effects it didn't look as good, but now we'll go into the closing scene. Okay, so this is kind of how I have them posed out. This is the Power Blaster or Mega Blaster kind of look here. I have the effect pieces in there. I think because the angle it probably just doesn't look as good. But it's kind of cool that you can kind of piece this together and kind of go and do that. But that's the review of the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Deluxe Box Set. You guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these Mezco Power Rangers? I think they're absolutely fantastic. Were you lucky enough to get the Green Ranger? Lucky enough to get the White Ranger? Let me know down in the comments below. Hopefully you guys pre-ordered this set. If not, I don't know if you're able to get it anywhere. If it pops up back in stock anywhere like Big Bad Toy Store or anything, I'll post it to my broadcast channel on Instagram. So make sure you're following me on Instagram and joining the broadcast channel so you guys could see those in-stock alerts and things like that. But I absolutely love this set. It's a bummer that the crease on my Red Ranger is there, and it's a bummer that the connector piece for the Power Lance, that it's soft rubbery plastic and it just tore apart when trying to get it out. So I'm bummed about that. Maybe I can get a replacement piece for that as well. We shall see. But even with those things, I still absolutely love the set, and I think it came out great. But you guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.